Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And what we're going to look at in this video is what I consider the top 10 best free apps on Apple TV. Apple TV gets kind of a bad rap for being a device that's all for paid apps, and that's not the case. And we're going to show you how to get a lot of bang for your buck out of Apple TV, starting with these 10 apps. I chose these apps based on their ability to sort of jump in on one place and give you a lot of different options to look at. So, let's start right here with Plex, and I'm going to talk about what is the deal with this. Now, what you see here is a full-on menu that kind of jumps into a lot of different things. Plex is known for being a place to store digital movies and TV shows, things like that you own. But Plex has added a lot of features lately that allow you to use their software without having any media. And you can find that by opening Plex and clicking to the left once you have an account. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you its news center. Its news center is really great because it breaks all the daily news down into different categories, and you can pick and choose what you want to check out and then just jump in. And what it does is aggregate it from lots of different places. So it might be Cheddar, it might be Newsy, it might be the AP. So you can use that to kind of get a lot of different perspectives on what is going on. Backing out of this, something else that Plex has just right at your disposal is podcasts. It's a nice podcast player. There's tons of categories. And so you can jump in with that, find something to listen to, find something to learn, have fun with. But that is a nice little setup they've got there. So we're going to jump out of Plex, and we're going to go in to Tubi. Tubi's been around for quite a while now, and what Tubi does is brings a lot of movies from various studios together. It breaks things down on its homepage this way. You see, not on Netflix and so on. There's a lot to offer, and of course you can get a little lost, so there's also a categories section. You just go to the top, go to Browse, and here on the left side you can browse through the categories. And for every category they have a bunch of different things, including access to programming from certain channels. They've made a lot of deals in the last couple of months that have given people more options to watch shows that are on cable channels and things like that. Otherwise, they have a lot of different interesting movie categories. Not everything on Tubi is going to be brand new, but a lot of the stuff is very good. They have everything from tons of stand-up comedy acts to fairly recent movies, and you'll probably recognize a lot of the things you find on there. But that's another and the thing is, it's totally free with ad support. Not too many commercials. Pluto TV has always been one of my favorites. Pluto TV offers both live TV and on-demand content. Under its live TV section, it has a ton of channels based on internet available things. So a lot of the things that you see are either based on, say, channels that stream via the internet all the time that you can maybe access on a computer or something else, but it puts it all into this really beautiful guide. I think that the Pluto TV on Apple TV is actually about the prettiest one in their lineup as far as their apps go. Pluto TV also makes deals with various companies. Like you see, this is the Asylum channel. The Asylum is a studio, and so they have a deal with Asylum to be able to put their movies out, and they put them all together and set them up like a live TV channel. Cheddar News, you might notice, is an app that you might be able to have separately, but again, Pluto TV puts it all together, which is the point of this video, showing you apps that make lots of content easy to find. Pluto TV also has an on-demand section, and it's a pretty expansive one, and it's been growing and growing and growing. And you can expect Pluto TV to really explode over the next year because it was recently bought by Viacom. So you're going to see more and more and more content pouring into this platform. It may even become a real competitor to cable networks. YouTube is something that people don't think of sometimes when they think of free content, but YouTube is the king of free content. There's all of the user created things and stuff from major studios. I would always recommend, if you're going to go with YouTube though, sign in to your YouTube account so that you can create your own playlists and stations. It's really, I don't know how many times I've found myself jumping in on YouTube and sticking around for hours. So don't forget about YouTube. Apple's podcasts have always been one of the best podcasting platforms there is. Apple Podcasts has tons of video podcasts. It has, multiple categories, and it's been kind of a standard bearer for a long time. So if you're looking for a way to just kill time, like I said about Plex, you can learn something, you can laugh, but it can be very much a substitute for on-demand programming, especially with some of the video podcasts. Some of the video podcasts are directly off of TV shows, news programs, things like that. Speaking of news, the CBS News app is a very good one. CBS News app does a lot for you. It gives you a live feed of news that's happening at the moment. Oftentimes there are, various things, like whenever something big happens. So if there's a Senate confirmation hearing or something going on like that, they're going to have a live feed. And the thing that I like the most about the CBS News app is not only that, but again, it gives you access to so many different things. Here it has a feed of the New York feed of CBS News, and that's not so helpful unless you're in the northeastern corridor, but it's interesting. CBS HQ is linked to this, and CBS HQ is a really cool free sports channel. There aren't live events on CBS HQ, but what it does have is highlights, sports news. It's like ESPN News, except it's a free service, as well as this Entertainment Tonight Live. You also have access to a bunch of their various programming options. All news. If you want to get their TV show content, you got to go into something like CBS All Access. But if you're looking to get your news fix on without having to worry about CNN or Fox News or anybody else, you can jump in with this and get it without cable or any kind of a streaming service. Now, another group of things that I really like is live sports. And you're going to get that through Yahoo Sports. And let me show you how you do that. You jump in with Yahoo Sports, and Yahoo Sports provides you with a lot of different things, including these various kind of programmatic things based on whatever is hot at the moment. But if you press the menu button, you pull up a whole nother section of the app, and there is one for live games. This is really helpful during the NFL season. Right now it's not the NFL season, so the things that are available are basketball related, and it looks like we've got some soccer. It'll tell you when it's available. So you've got to kind of tune in when it's actually on. If you know that a game starts at 3 or 4 or whatever, you just jump in. But it's going to tell you right here at the top, this is Wednesday at 9:50. April 3rd. So, mark that in your calendar. Otherwise, what you have is a whole lot of sports information. There's a whole group of highlights just around baseball. Opening day was yesterday. But that's the way that Yahoo Sports works, and I find that really nice. Like I said, big time during the NFL season. You watch your local NFL team that way. Movies and TV with Vudu is really cool. Vudu is a service that allows you to rent and buy movies, but it has a whole section called Movies on Us. And in Movies on Us, it actually includes movies and TV shows. It's just kind of an antiquated title. But all of these things are free with ads. And you see, they break things down into these nice little genres. And it's kind of a peppy menu. I like it. It's colorful and happy. So you go in, and depending on what you're choosing, it's going to give you a list of everything that you can watch for free with this service. Not only does it have a whole lot of library content, it does have some things coming soon that are going to be originals to Crackle. Not Crackle, Vudu. I've got Crackle on my mind, I guess. So, that's a really nice option as well. You see there's lots and lots of categories, lots and lots of things to see. So here's an example. There's Roseanne. That's a TV show, not a movie. But we already covered that. But you can't go wrong with adding something like Vudu and enjoying what's out there. The Crackle, which is what I was which I accidentally alluded to, I guess it was a Freudian slip, is a service from Sony, but truth is, Sony has sold Crackle. Sony sold Crackle to the company that owns things like popcorn movies. But Crackle gives you a lot of options to check out. It has these channels, which are really just program rows, and it has a whole group of categories based on TV shows and movies. This is also an ad-supported channel, but there is so much to see. Pretty much anything at the moment from Sony movies is pushed to Crackle versus other things. Like other services, this is based on movies that are recent in some cases. Some of them are older, like The Sixth Day. That is certainly not a new movie. But there's going to be a lot of recognizable titles, a lot of things you maybe enjoyed, maybe never got around to seeing before. And, like anything in streaming, it's a great time killer. So that's Crackle. And last but not least is music. And we're going to talk about iHeartRadio in this case. iHeartRadio is one of my favorite music apps. It allows you to listen to live radio. It breaks things down into different categories for you. And it even offers podcasts. But it's got a lot of really cool features that you can set up. Under my stations, it breaks things down by artists. So if you just want to get a fix in based on a certain performer, you can. Under live radio, you can jump in on any state. So whether it's where you're living right now or where you used to live, you can jump into the state section and go to channels based out of your various cities. So in North Carolina, it's broken down by the major cities in North Carolina and the radio stations for it. We're in Raleigh, so you can just browse what's in Raleigh. Truth is, you can't get every single radio station in your area because different ownership groups make deals with different streaming services. But you get a lot of stuff, and you can search for things based on genres so that you can find. You want sports, you want news and talk. You just go in, jump in, and it's going to give you tons and tons of options on any given topic. I find listening to the radio through a TV pretty relaxing. And of course, you don't deal with issues like antennas. In the search, you can look up things by call numbers and call letters. Looks like WQDR is not one. But, if depending on what you're looking for, if it's available, you're going to be able to find it here. But that is iHeartRadio. And again, it's a nice feature. And in general, these are 10 things that I just highly recommend on Apple TV. I hope you found that helpful, and if you did, please subscribe. Share this video with your friends. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.